We are all familiar by now with the stories of unmarked vans showing up in Portland, abducting people, and then, well, we don't really know what happens to them after that. Now, the police have come out calling it preemptive arrests, which is a really odd way of saying arresting somebody who hasn't committed a crime. Well, you see, Senator Kamala Harris did an inquiry into the government to kind of find out, what's been going on with these, well, let's call them what they are, abductions. Well, as it turns out, the Customs and Border Patrol have been carrying out surveillance and arrests. That's right, the guys whose job it is to patrol the border are inward to the country arresting American citizens. Yeah, very interesting. The agency director, Mark Morgan, defended the deployment measure and said, "I will not send any resources out anywhere to confront American citizens." After literally just having done it. Interesting. Now, they say, CBP says, they've got a request from domestic law enforcement to come in and act as support for them because many things have gotten out of control. As you can imagine, people would be very angry at, the injustice that's being done to them, etc., like unjustified police killings. Now, several departments have specifically requested the help, and they've even got the amphibious ravine force. That's right, Customs Border Patrol with boats are showing up to help inland city police. Maybe it's just the guys and they left the boats at home, I'm not sure. Well, anyway, here's a list of some of the police agencies that have specifically requested their help. The NYPD, Chicago PD, Miami PD, Philadelphia, San Diego, and DC's Metropolitan PD. Even federal agencies requested assistance, including several FBI field offices and the Drug Enforcement Agency. Now, these CBP aerial assets have been deployed to various states: Illinois, New York, Ohio, Texas, Michigan, California, Florida, and Minnesota. Well, when CBP is involved, you think maybe there may be some border issues that they try to deal with at the same time, but they have said they will not be conducting immigration enforcement activities at protests and demonstrations, saying that our efforts are directed at the preservation of life and safety. Beyond that, CBP has not made any additional comments or statements to this effort. Thus, CBP has no additional information to provide with respect to the question and the sub-questions. So we're not really doing immigration checks. We're just kidnapping people. Helping kidnap people. With unmarked vans. All that totalitarian dystopian nightmare that we have to bomb other countries for when they do it, but interestingly, when we do it, it's, not really a big deal kind of thing. Very, very strange. Now, the Department of Homeland Security, the chief of it, not only acknowledges that these unmarked vans are going around and abducting people, but they are actively defending it, calling it proactive arrests, which, as I said, is another way of saying arresting people without having committed a crime, or even suspicion of having committed a crime. And of course, this is getting linked to Minority Report, the Tom Cruise movie, where you had people in the pre-crime division where some psychics know what crime's going to happen, so they arrest people before it, which is already pretty goddamn dystopian in itself. So, it's really interesting where all of this is going. Every single excuse or boogeyman that's ever made about China or Iran or the DPRK or Venezuela or the Soviet Union, every excuse to denounce them as human rights abuses and why America is the sole center of freedom and democracy is, well, kind of being a complete and total hypocrite at this point. And here's one more point I want to make. Every libertarian, every ANCAP, every they're coming to get us at any moment, militiamen, free states kind of thing. Where are they? They are not saying a damn thing. Their entire philosophy is about fighting government tyranny. Here it is, in full force, right out in public, in front of everybody. And they're not saying a thing. Dead silent, except when you count when they're cheering it on. So let's kind of just accept this. ANCAPs, you're not really about freedom. You're really about some kind of phony idea that you're going to get whatever it is that you can for yourself, and that you really don't care about freedom. You don't care about things being voluntary because work or starve isn't a form of coercion, apparently. And every one of these guys says, oh, the government's coming to get us at any time, Michigan militia, or any of these guys like that, Ammon Bundy, the whole Bundy family, outraged that they had to pay taxes for things that they weren't paying taxes for because they were just too cheap to pay. They just didn't want to pay taxes. And this is about freedom in my land and my stolen land, but I digress. Here it is, the real attack on everyone. Nowhere to be found. Because, people are only protesting because black people are getting killed. And apparently, all that freedom rhetoric just, apparently doesn't apply to black people for some reason. But that's that. So they've already acknowledged that not only are they using certain police forces that they're using them in ways that they were not meant to be used, but they're openly admitting, yes, they're blackbagging people and taking them off and then defending it. Most of these evil dictatorships deny that they do it. But the U.S. is just outright saying, yeah, we do it, and we need to do it because safety. That should tell you something right there. That even if the most terrible, evil, iconic boogeyman is God, even denies these things, and you do it, that should tell you something about the society that you live in. Thank you for watching. If you like this program, then please head over to my Patreon page and set up a monthly donation. It's your donations that keep this program running. Also, if you would like, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share in various social media.